boost your English.
From English Podcast with John.
Hey friends, how are you feeling today? We're so happy to have you here at English Podcast with John. Today, we're going to talk about how to describe your home and room in English. We'll guide you step by step so you can start using English confidently in your daily life. Hello, it's really great to be back chatting with you.
Hi. It's great to chat with you too. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, thanks. I'm actually pretty excited for today's topic. Describing where we live.
Oh, me too.
It's such a practical, everyday kind of skill for English conversation. How about you?
I completely agree. This topic, it comes up constantly, right? Whether you're making new friends or just talking to colleagues, I can't wait to get started helping our listeners practice.
Fantastic. And before we really jump in, just a quick, friendly reminder for everyone listening.
Mm-hmm.
If you find this practice useful, please remember to like this session, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share it with your friends.
It genuinely helps us reach more learners just like you.
Yeah.
We really appreciate all your support.
We really do. Okay, so let's get started. Our mission today is simple. We want you, the listener, to leave this session feeling ready and confident to talk about your home.
Your room, everything inside it.
Exactly. We're focusing on strong, useful phrases. So let's start at the very beginning.
The basics.
Asking where someone lives. When we first meet someone, this is probably the first, most common question.
Absolutely. The foundational question uses the simple present tense. It's, one of the first things you learn. And it's so important here. It's simply, where do you live?
Right. We use this question when we want to know the general location, maybe the city, or sometimes the type of place itself. It's short, it's clear, and it works in, pretty much every situation.
And for your answers, you use that fundamental structure. I live in Iran, and then you just name the type of place.
Exactly. But sometimes you might want to know a little more detail, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of place the person lives in. So instead of just where do you live, we can ask a slightly more detailed question.
Yeah, and that question would be, what kind of place do you live in?
That's a great one.
It's so useful because it immediately invites a more descriptive answer.
It really does. So let's practice some common ways to answer that question. Everyone, will go slowly. Just listen and try to repeat or shadow these sentences.
And we'll repeat each example twice so you can really focus on your pronunciation.
Okay, first one. Imagine you live in a building that stands alone, maybe with a garden. You would say, I live in a large house. Let's repeat that. I live in a large house.
Now, what if you live in a shared building? This is very common in cities. You would say, I live in an apartment.
And notice that article, an.
Right, because apartment starts with a vowel sound. Let's try it again. I live in an apartment.
Let's do that one more time, really focusing on the flow. I live in an apartment.
Perfect. And remember, especially for our listeners who might be talking to British English speakers, the word flat means the exact same thing as apartment.
That's a really good tip.
So you could also say, I live in a small flat.
Let's practice that one too then. I live in a small flat.
One more time.
I live in a small flat.
So if you're taking notes right now, think about your own situation. Do you live in a house, an apartment, a flat, maybe something else?
Yeah. Take a moment and just write down your answer using that pattern. I live in a...
This immediate practice is really the key to remembering it.
Okay, fantastic. So now that we know what kind of place we live in, let's talk about what it's like.
How to describe it.
Exactly. We need some descriptive phrases, some adjectives to talk about the size and the general feeling of the place.
That's where adjectives become so important for making your conversation more colorful. And we can use a very simple and direct sentence structure. My home is adjective.
For example, if your home has a lot of room and feels very open, instead of just saying big, we can use a more descriptive word like spacious.
Spacious, that's a great word. It means large and with plenty of room to move.
Let's try repeating this phrase together, nice and slow. My home is very spacious.
Let's do it again.
My home is very spacious.
That sounds great. And, not every home is spacious, and that's wonderful too. We often connect two different ideas here using the word but.
Ah, the compound sentence.
Exactly. It's an excellent practice for building longer, more natural sounding sentences.
Okay, so listen to this very common example. My house is small, but it is cozy.
One more time.
My house is small, but it is Cozy.
Let's pause for a moment on that word. Cozy. It's such a lovely word.
It really is.
It means warm, comfortable, and welcoming. So even if a place is physically small, calling it cozy gives it a very positive, nice feeling. It means you enjoy being there.
That's such an important distinction. It adds emotion to your description, not just facts.
Ugh.
Okay, so now let's move from the overall feeling to the actual layout.
The number of rooms.
Right. How many rooms do you have? We can use the simple how many question pattern for this.
And if you want to be specific, the most common question is, how many bedrooms do you have?
Let's practice that question slowly. Ready? How many bedrooms do you have? How many bedrooms do you have?
And when you answer, it sounds really natural to connect your ideas with and, especially if you use a room for more than one purpose.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, for example, I have 3 rooms and one of them is my office.
See? The and connects the number of rooms to the specific use of one of them.
Let's repeat that sentence. I have 3 rooms and one of them is my office.
Or, if you're counting other rooms, like bathrooms, you can use the there are structure. For example, there are 2 bathrooms in my apartment.
Let's practice that one too. There are 2 bathrooms in my apartment.
One more time.
There are 2 bathrooms in my apartment.
Okay, let's try a quick mini dialogue now. We'll focus on size and connecting ideas with but.
I'll be speaker A. I'll say the line twice. Try to repeat after me. Is your apartment big? Again. Is your apartment big?
And I'll be speaker B. My answer connects the size with a nice feature. No, it is small, but it has a nice view.
That's a perfect answer.
Let's repeat that one. No, it is small, but it has a nice view.
You see how smooth that sounds? We have the size, the contrast with but, and then a positive feature.
It's a great conversational skill to have.
Okay, so now it's your turn to practice speaking out loud. Use the structures we just reviewed.
Tell us about the size of your house or your room.
Yeah, use an adjective like spacious or small, and maybe try to add a but phrase if you can. Try to speak the full sentence aloud right now.
Don't be shy. Just start with, my home is,
Mhm.
or I have. You can do it.
Wonderful. Okay, so we've described the outside and the number of rooms. Now let's go inside.
This is a really important part.
For sure. Describing furniture and objects inside a room, this needs 2 key tools. The phrases there is or there are and prepositions.
Yes, there is and there are so fundamental. They are how you introduce the existence of something in a place. They tell the listener what is in the room.
Let's be very clear about the difference. We use there is when we are talking about only one thing, a singular noun.
Exactly. For example, if you're describing one big piece of furniture, you'd say, there's a large sofa in the living room.
Let's repeat that.
There's a large sofa in the living room.
And then, of course, we use there are when we're describing more than one thing, plural nouns.
Right, 2 or more items.
So you could say, there are many books on the shelf.
Let's try that one.
There are many books on the shelf.
So when you describe a room, these phrases, there is and there are really the foundation of your description.
Right. And then we add prepositions. Prepositions tell us exactly where the objects are.
They give you the specific location inside the room, which makes your description so much clearer for the listener.
The ones we want to practice today are super common. Phrases like next to, in front of, and on the right.
Also, under and inside. Very useful.
Let's model some sentences. As we practice, maybe you can think about your own desk or bedroom.
Okay, let's start with next to.
A good example would be, my bed is next to the window.
Let's repeat that.
My bed is next to the window.
Now, what about something on a surface? We use on, for example. The lamp is on the table.
Simple and clear. Let's say it again. The lamp is on the table.
And how about describing something below another object? We use under.
Like my bag is under the chair.
Perfect. Let's repeat it.
My bag is under the chair.
Now, we can combine all of these things to build a really detailed picture.
The ter isar structure plus the prepositions.
Exactly. I'll describe a simple living room. Just listen to how the phrases connect to define this space.
Okay.
There's a television in front of the sofa. The remote controls on the coffee table. There are magazines under the coffee table.
See how that builds a clear mental image? It flows so naturally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now we're going to do a simple but really powerful practice. It's called listen and imagine.
This is great for your listening comprehension and it helps you remember the prepositions.
So we are going to describe a typical kitchen very slowly. We want you to just close your eyes if you can and try to build a picture of this kitchen in your mind.
Ready? Just focus on the location of each item. Here we go.
There is a microwave oven on the counter.
Let's say that one more time so you can really picture it.
There is a microwave oven on the counter.
Okay, next part of the picture. There are 3 chairs around the small kitchen table.
One more time for that.
There are 3 chairs around the small kitchen table.
Now, where are the plates? The plates are inside the cupboard above the sink.
Let's repeat that. It has 2 prepositions.
The plates are inside the cupboard above the sink.
And one last detail.
Yeah.
There's a small rug under the kitchen table.
Again.
There is a small rug under the kitchen table.
So, were you able to visualize it? Could you picture where the microwave was and the plates?
This exercise is so good for connecting the English words directly to the objects and their location.
It really is. So, when you practice by yourself, try to describe your own room out loud. Just move slowly from one object to the next using there is or there are and prepositions.
Okay, fantastic work. We've covered the type of home, the size, the layout, and the things inside.
Now for the last piece of the puzzle. The emotion.
How you feel about it.
Exactly. How do we express our feelings about our home? Or talk about things we might want to change? This is so important for natural conversation.
Well, to express positive feelings, we can use a very simple structure. I really like my room because...
The word because. It's essential here.
It is, because it lets you give a simple reason for your feeling. And for the A2B1 level, keeping the reason short and clear is perfect.
For example, I really like my room because it has a big window.
The big window is the reason. Let's repeat that.
I really like my room because it has a big window.
Or maybe you like the location. I like my house because it is close to the park.
Let's practice that one.
I like my house because it is close to the park.
Okay, but what if things aren't perfect? What if you like your home, but there's one small problem?
This is where but comes in again. Native speakers use but all the time to introduce a small negative point in a friendly, balanced way.
Right. It sounds much softer than just stating the problem directly.
Exactly. Let's practice this structure slowly. I like my apartment, but the kitchen is too small.
One more time.
I like my apartment, but the kitchen is too small.
Or another example about location could be, I love living downtown, but it is very noisy at night.
Let's repeat that.
I love living downtown, but it is very noisy at night.
Using this structure lets you show appreciation while also, mentioning a small issue. It's a very common and polite way to speak.
Okay, now for a quick cultural tip.
I love these.
We want to teach you a very, very common phrase that English speakers use to talk about the feeling of returning home.
And that phrase is home sweet home.
It perfectly captures that feeling of comfort and relief you feel when you get back to your own space.
It means you feel incredibly happy and comfortable, especially after you've been away.
Think about that moment you get back from a long trip. You put your key in the door, you walk inside, and you just feel relaxed.
That's the moment for this phrase. We usually say it like an exclamation.
Let's practice how to use it. After a long trip, I always say, home sweet home.
Try to say it with that warm, relieved feeling. Let's do it again. After a long trip, I always say, home sweet home.
Now you try saying the phrase, maybe just whisper it to yourself, home sweet home.
It's one of those little phrases that can make your English sound much more natural.
Okay, this brings us to our final short writing activity for today.
We want you to practice combining the sentence structures we learned about feelings and location.
So think about your single favorite thing inside your home. It could be a chair, a plant, maybe a window.
Now try to create 2 simple sentences about it. The first sentence should express your feeling using I like or I love.
And the second sentence should use there is or there are to describe something specific there.
For example, my sentences might be, I love my living room because it's very bright. There is a comfortable sofa next to the window there.
That's a perfect example. So take a moment now. Practice writing those 2 sentences down, or just say them out loud.
This kind of active practice really helps you remember the grammar patterns we worked on today.
Thank you so much for joining us for this practice session today. We really hope you feel more confident describing your home and your room in English now.
Now it's your turn to practice. Please leave the comment below, or even better, talk to a friend using these new phrases.
Yeah, tell us what kind of place you live in.
Daily practice makes a huge, huge difference.
It really does. Remember to keep listening and speaking English every single day. Consistency is absolutely the key to progress.
We will be back very soon with more sessions to help you practice your English and build your confidence step by step.
And don't forget to like this session, subscribe to the channel, and share this with anyone you know who is also learning English. We appreciate your support so much. Bye, everyone. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Have a great day.
You too.